fibrous tunic, right? Sclera is back here. Up in the front, where you see, this is your cornea, okay? There's a layer on top of this, right? Which is that what? What layer lays on top of this? Yeah, your conjunctiva. Do you remember what one? There's two of them.
One is bulbar.
Yep, you have a bulbar one and a palpebral one. So the bulbar one is the one that's on the actual bulb of your eye.
What's the other one called?
Palpebral.
Palpebral.
Yeah, and that's underneath. Like if you lift your eyelid underneath and you see the blood vessels, that's where the palpebral conjunctiva is. Good. All right, so here we have the muscles to the corresponding eye. So this muscle here is that superior rectus, because this is the top of the eye. Okay, superior rectus. This guy here is lateral rectus. If he attaches right there. All right. Then if you kind of turn him around, kind of look in. So let's kind of turn around and look at it like this. So here we have medial rectus, okay, because this is medially. Then bottom, we have inferior rectus being down here, okay? And then here you see this kind of muscle off to the side. That, here, let me kind of tilt a little bit. You see that muscle off to the side? That is inferior oblique, okay? Inferior oblique, and then here you have this muscle that kind of comes up and then attaches here to this eye. This is superior oblique, okay? This one here, I'm really going to use for muscles. Okay? Because there's other ones I can use for other things. All right? Good? All right. So let's continue with the eyes. So here is the other eye model we have. So this guy right here is our lacrimal gland. Okay? Good? Then you can open this guy up to expose the three tunics. Okay? Or the three layers, how do you want to think of them? Okay? So you have the fibrous layer being the outer one, the vascular layer being the middle, and then this orange layer in here is this visual layer or neural layer. Okay? That's what all this is. Okay? So here you'd have those cones and rods to help you see that we kind of talked about. All right? Now, here as we continue forwards, we run into this structure. Here, you see how it kind of bulges out a little bit? Let me tilt it. See how it kind of bulges out a little bit here? Okay? This is where your iris is. Okay? And behind this, you have that ciliary body. Okay? Good? Now, your lens lies directly behind, so this is your lens, lies directly behind your iris. Okay? And it's connected to your ciliary body via those suspensory ligaments that we talked about. All right? Now, the other thing you can see on this model is the aspect of this guy here. What do you think this thing is?
The posterior segment.
The what?
The posterior segment, the vitreous humor.
Yeah, the vitreous humor. There you go. Not posterior. Vitreous humor. Okay. So this is the vitreous humor. Okay. So this is that humor that helps maintain the shape of the eye. Okay. All right. Good.
That orange layer in there, is that also called the retina?
Yes.
Okay.
Retina or the neural
I've
layer.
seen that label.
Yeah, so that's that retina or neural layer, however one you want to do. All right, good. Here is a little different. So here is looking at the eye in more of a sagittal section of the eye. So you can see here, this little guy up top is what?
Superior levitator.
Yeah, the superior levator. Yeah, good. So that's what this muscle is here. Okay, helps you with elevating your eyelid so you can see, or your eye. All right, so here we have the superior rectus And then the inferior rectus muscles. Okay, I'm not really going to focus the muscles on this guy, but you can see here being the lens, and then these kind of protruding aspects here. You see this thing kind of protruding up? That's that ciliary body. So here's the ciliary body, and then these kind of strandy looking guys, that's your suspensory ligaments. Okay? Now, you can also see this space here. So this space would be filled with aqueous humor. Okay, so this space will be filled with aqueous humor. Good. Now, the other thing we can see here is the actual back of the eye. Okay, so this here would be what?
The blind spot?
Yes, the blind spot. Good. So this is your blind spot. Okay, so this is where cranial nerve 2 comes out of your eye. Okay, so you don't have any rods and cones here. This structure next to it is that fovea centralis that has those rods and cones. Okay, but it mainly has a high concentration of cones here. This is where you see. Okay, right in here. All right. Good. Any questions about this? No? Pretty good? Good. Now, moving on from the eye to the ear, there's no model for the nose. There's no model for the taste. So don't worry about those guys. But make sure you look at the pictures though. Okay? Alright, we gotta get this thing pointed again. There we go. So, here. Alright. So this thing's too big to show down there. So this thing here is the external ear. Okay, this is all external ear. Okay? You have the, let me lay this down. Alright, you have the lobule being this piece down here. So right down here is your lobule. And then your pinna being up here. Okay? Good. Now, this tube, that tube, is that external auditory canal. Okay, so this is that auditory canal. Alright? Now, here, we're looking inwards. Okay? So, this kind of flap you see in there is that tympanic membrane. Okay? Now, you can also see that flap, if I take this off, and you can see it here. This guy is that tympanic membrane. Okay? So he's the guy that separates the external ear from the middle ear. You can see how it kind of pops right out. Don't want to lose it. There we go. So he splits the external ear from the middle ear. Okay? Now, connect this guy back. You can see the corresponding bones. So you have the malleus being here, then you have the incus being here, and then the stapes being this guy right here. Okay? M-I-S. Good? Alright, so from there, we now enter the inner ear. Okay? So if I remove all this, bony labyrinth. If I ask just what this is, membranous labyrinth, right? So here at the very top, you have the semicircular canals. Okay, dynamic equilibrium, that's what they use for. Okay, then you have these structures. So this location, let me kind of show you. I'll move this out of the way. So here, so at the very bottom, so below the semicircular canals, remember you have that vestibule. Okay, so in that vestibule region, which is right in here, you can actually see it here. Okay, that's for dynamic equilibrium. Oh, no, static equilibrium, my bad. Static equilibrium. Okay, so static equilibrium, dynamic equilibrium. Now, here is our actual cochlea. Okay, we're not going to worry about what else is inside because it's really hard to denote it. I got another thing for it. Okay, but you can see here, this right here is that cranial nerve, right? For hearing imbalance, which is yeah, vestibulocochlear nerve. Yeah, good. All right. Now, that's all for that model. So let's look at this model. All right. So. Here, let me show you how it's going to relate to this picture. Here it is. So it's literally, come on. This picture, okay? It's the same thing. All right? So when we look here, we have, come on. So we have the top one here, okay? So this is that scala vestibuli, okay? Here in the middle, so let me kind of pull this off inside. Here in the middle, where we have the actual hair cells located, scala media, okay? And then on the bottom, flip it around, you can see this being scala tympani, okay? Both of these guys, so this guy on the very top and this one on the bottom, perilymph, okay? This one's the only one that has endolymph, all right? Because this guy, let me show you on this projector. You see how on the walls here, you have this kind of blood supply and these cells here? That's the stria vascularis. Okay, that's the thing that produces the endolymph. Okay? Now, here you have these hair cells. So these are the outer hair cells and then the inner hair cells. Okay? And then you have this structure here, which is that cochlear branch of the vestibular cochlear nerve. Okay? Any questions on any of that?